Vorin, is she Haj-deek? Is she all right?
Haj-deek's alive, yes, thank goodness. Not well, but she's recovering. She'll be all right. Vivek and I found her in oblivion with Azura. It makes me furious even to think about it.
What was Azura doing? You're sure she didn't permanently harm Haj-deek?
That part remains to be seen. Azura had skewered her as the first Nerevar had been, and I only barely managed to hear Vivek telling me to drag her out the Oblivion gate before I blacked out there. Kept going in and out, and Vivek tells me the entire Imperial Canton saw me taking Azura apart. I didn't exactly have the wherewithal to care. I went straight to Haj-deek once I came back to myself.
Of course Azura would. That low-down, no good. I hope you made her suffer. I hope you made her suffer horribly. She deserves no better than that after what she's done.
Oh, yes, Sadara. Azura suffered wounds it will not be easy for her to recover from. If she takes that form again, she shall be without her eyes among all her other wounds. Fair warning, I will be bringing them to you publicly. Fitting, is it not? To bring my beloved who suffered so much at the hands of the Queen of Dawn and Dusk proof that her tormentor has been punished?
That'll be a gory gift, but I won't complain. I can already hear the song that'll be written, and to his bride the Sharmat brings, a gift of blood, not bone. The eyes which so oft saw her sorrow, the Dusk Queen overthrown.
You have such a way with words, my dear.
Yet you are better still. Else how could you have caused the moon and star to fall?
I don't recall it being my words that made you fall.
Well, Kagranak wasn't the only one capable of wielding a profane tool. But before we go any further on that head, is there anything else you want to say on the, situation?
On a lighter note, Vivek has that boy keeping our daughter company. As much as I hate the little idiot, he doesn't dare try anything with my presence in the city. You should have seen him panic when I entered the room. I think they were discussing what happened on that night I prefer not to think about. He immediately launched into saying he'd spent that night praying for forgiveness for thinking lewd things about Haj-deek. I would have laughed had the situation not been so serious otherwise. And as much as it pains me to say this, I may possibly have acquired some new worshippers.
Why would that pain you exactly? I thought you wanted to be worshipped.
Not by a pack of mongrel dog Imperials.
Imperials? Worshipping you? Now there's a story I have to hear about.
It appears that Vivek spread about what I was doing and why I was doing it. And apparently this was quite inspiring to some of the Imperials that happened to have children of their own living in the city. Vivek told me he spoke briefly on, as he put it, Father Dagoth delivering justice to one who harmed his family. And what do you know, I actually heard a prayer or two from parents asking for strength to defend their families.
Times of hardship drive people to religion, so I suppose it makes sense. I hope you won't shun the idea of having them worship you. How fitting it would be to spread your name among the empire you've so longed to expel. Would it not be better to have them hail your name rather than curse it?
I hate to agree with you on that point, but yes, I suppose it would. Now, how have you been? How is the situation inside the Ghostfence?
Gilvoth has been handling it very well. I've taken up a sword now and then, but otherwise I leave it to him and tend the more domestic concerns. Seeing that those retreating here have a decent place to sleep, that things stay clean, that everyone who needs to has something to eat. It's actually been rather refreshing to have a steady routine, though I'm not sure I'll get used to seeing the buoyant armigers as often as I have been. Gilvoth, much as he hated to do it, struck a deal for them to use the volcano as another base of operations. Now that they are our allies, it also adds an extra layer of protection for the heart.
And for you, my love, don't forget that for a single instant. To lose you would be worse than losing the heart. It brought me back and gave me power, but you and all you've given me has made me whole.
And you claim not to be flowery. You would have been a gifted bard had you had the chance. I'm not sure I could ever match the sentiment, but I will try anyway. I felt the same since the second night we shared a bed, that you made me whole. I wear the ring, but truly, you are my moon and star, my king.
My sweetness.
My song.
Now, I believe you mentioned something about a profane tool.
Did I now? I seem to have forgotten. Perhaps you should remind me.